And then I am going to start trying to figure out what I'm doing. I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody. Like, of course, you could press your space bar if you have something to say. Don't feel like I'm just saying that's it. You don't get to talk. And as a matter of fact, I do want to bring that up because I have been asking everybody, and you certainly don't have to tell me anything right now. Della and I moving forward. Want to really, we both love doing this. So we want to make sure that we're doing it in a manner that is giving people what they need. And so at the end of this PowerPoint, there'll be a time for us to kind of discuss that. So if anything comes to mind while we're going through this that you think would be better or left out or anything like that, just jot a note and we'll chat about it afterwards. Then this is the time to start your next year and figure it all out. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Dun, 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 and we're going to come here. Hello. Can everybody see this okay? Good. So one of the things that somebody told me is that they really miss us getting a chance to kind of chat in the beginning, which we just did with Rachel. And so I thought, us picking a card and then having to remember at the end of the month that we still need to pick a card and we haven't done it. I thought it might be fun to just go ahead and do it now. So I want you to take a moment and take a really good look at these images and see which one speaks to you. And you can either write it in the chat or you can write it down, but make yourself commit to it. This is the image for me. Take the time to really not be ambivalent because we're going to let you know what this means. What is speaking to you right now? And when you have it, you can either raise your hand or I'll see it come up in the chat. Oh, I'm seeing chats. There we go. Good. Good. Is that everybody? Everybody got what they want? And everybody that's getting the recording, you need to do the same thing. Don't just go, oh, I'll just see what they mean. Write down what it is, which one is really speaking to you because you're about to get a message. So if everybody can just give me their hand to say, okay, I'm ready. You ready, Tammy? Yeah. Okay. Ta-da. All right, so this is what your subconscious wants you to know. And we're going to do all 6 of them. I see a lot of you picked Holly. A lot of you kind of picked the same thing. But we're going to start with the bells. Did anybody pick the bells? No. So if you did, it meant it was time for you to speak or sing your truth. I was funny because Leslie sang every single day last week. And I thought, if she picks those bells, she certainly has something to say. So that would be a throat chakra. If you picked the wreath, you are deeply in need of community. So you need to start a class or a book circle or come to Seekers or the open house that we're having. Did anybody pick the wreath? No. You guys have enough community. All right. How about the tree? Anybody pick the tree? No. Interesting. It says you have given to others enough. Give yourself a secret Santa gift today. Has anybody ever done that? Give yourself a secret Santa gift. Yeah. All right. All right. The holly. I saw the holly people. All right. So here you go. It's time for an ending. Holly represents endings and transformation. It's time for you to grow closer to spirit. It's a very holy plant. That's why they call it holly. It's holy. Focus on your crown chakra for help with your choice of what needs to end. Anybody pick fire?
I did.
Yeah, Barry did and Tammy did. Too much togetherness.
I'm going to Bowie by myself.
He might be going to Bowie by himself, he's saying. It's time for you to reclaim your fire by replenishing alone. Get cozy with your own
That's
thoughts.
funny.
And then mistletoe. Anybody pick mistletoe? No. Time for love. Your heart is calling you to give yourself permission to trust and forgive, and you know who. And it could be you. So there you go. Anybody surprised by that? Was it
Yes.
accurate for you? Uh-huh. I love it. When I was showering today, I was going, all right, give it to me. Give it to me. Tell me what to do here. So, all right. So moving on, December healing space. And I'm going to move you guys because you're can't kind of see everything here. So you want to talk about this, Della?
Okay, sorry. I was trying to move everybody too so I could see. And then I couldn't see how to unmute myself. Okay, so December. It's time for the end of the year. Here we are and getting ready for January. So we're ending out, rounding the year and starting a new one. It's a time for the winter solstice, which also represents a new chapter in your life. This month spiritually is about unity and about trust. It's about love, hope, and fellowship, except for those who pick fire, who needs to be by themselves.
I picked fire too. Can you imagine how I'm going to be tonight?
That's what's funny. The spirit animal for this month is the owl, which is a beautiful picture that we have here of the owl. And our color for this month is turquoise. And guess what else? The gemstone is turquoise. So it is very exciting about turquoise because with the color and the gemstone, so we have a lot of interesting information to share with you about both the color and the gemstone. And also for this month, the Celtic moon is the elder moon.
So the spiritual meaning of owl, and I didn't know this. I was very excited when I was doing some research today. So owls obviously represent wisdom, knowledge. They also represent change, transformation, intuitive development, and trusting the mystery. Many people are terrified of owls. Like it's like seen as a bad omen if you see an owl, because it used to be that they said it means a death is coming, but it's the spiritual symbolism of death, which is like the death card in tarot. It's okay, something has to come to an end for something else to begin. And that really truly is what December is all about. We are going to end the year so we can start with a new one. So also owls are known as being clairvoyant. They're all about astral projection. Like if you're into magic and stuff like that, an owl is going to be your spirit medicine. Athena, the goddess of wisdom, always had a companion owl on her shoulder or nearby, which revealed unseen truths to her. So if you do a Google search of Athena, it's amazing how many images there are of Athena with that owl. And the owl would light up Athena's blind side, enabling her to speak the whole truth as opposed to only a half truth. So I find that fascinating, that there's so much with owl. And I think that December really is the time where we need to start trusting that inner wisdom that we have. A lot of us have holiday gatherings and things going on. So I'm hoping that you call upon the spirit of the owl. So Della is going to let you know all about color therapy this month.
All right. So as I said before, our color for this month is turquoise. And turquoise is a blend of blue, green, and yellow. So what it does is it brings in the tranquility of the blue, the growth of green, and the energy of yellow. So when you think about turquoise or look at turquoise, or if you are wearing it or something like that, you'll actually be able to encompass all of those energies because that's what it's made up of. So you'll be peaceful, but you also have energy, and it's also about growing yourself as well. So it's a very uplifting color, and it's a big color, and it's mind-blowing and very mysterious.
Yeah, it's really hard to find turquoise now, like true turquoise. Most of the turquoise you're going to see on the market is actually dyed howlite. Howlite is white, and
Mhm.
so it takes to the blue color. When we were out in Arizona, the Navajo, they have like little shops on the side of the road, and they were the ones that told us, you trying to find real turquoise, if you find it, it should be really expensive. If it's really cheap, it's dyed howlite. So that's my 2 cents there.
But that's all right, because that's, I think, what you mainly see
Mhm.
is very, it's not expensive, which means it's probably like the dyed howlite. So I guess you're getting it just for the color.
Yes.
So turquoise, it encourages reflection and focusing on one's needs, thoughts, and feelings, which is good for December. It helps us connect to our self-esteem and self-love. It helps us balance and have emotional stability and communication and empathy. When you think about turquoise, it's still related to, and I'll get to this later too, but it's, about the throat. And so that's all about your communication. It speaks to both your head and your heart because it's right there in the middle between the two. It's that throat chakra. So it's right in between. It helps with healing and controlling your feelings. It restores, warms, and soothes your soul. And it helps you with stress and fatigue and feeling more in harmony with your intuition, which Linda spoke to before, and you can see how it kind of relates also to the owl, because that's all about your intuition and everything, as we learned before. So this whole, the owl, the turquoise, it all kind of combines and comes together for the month of December. So the gemstone. So turquoise is believed to bring good energy or booster energy. It has a calming effect, very similar to the actual color, just by holding it or looking at it. So, you see this background and just notice how, if it's bringing about a calming effect to you. It also helps if you put turquoise, well, if it's real turquoise, you can try putting the color, since we just learned that it's very difficult to get real turquoise. But if you put it under your pillow, it's supposed to help you have pleasant dreams and a good night's sleep. In Egypt, turquoise was often used for protection, and there's a lot of jewelry that you find from Egypt that it has turquoise in it. And it said that they wore that, when they would go in a battle or just in general for protection. And of course, now I can't see this because I'm in the way. So we're going to close that down. There we go. So it's used for protection and thought of as joy and delight. And that's where somewhere when I was doing research, they said that that's what it meant. Turquoise meant joy and delight. I'd never heard that before.
Yeah.
But in Persia, turquoise was earthly connection to the heavens. So, I found that very interesting too, because when I kind of thought about that, it kind of just sparked in me, just like it's like the throat between the heart and the head, that is for the connection between the earth and the heavens. So Persians thought that it brought great strength and protection, just like Egyptians thought it was for protections. Persians thought it was for strength and protections. And the Native Americans use it as a channel between heaven and earth. And the stone represents wisdom, protection, good fortune, tranquility, and hope, which again ties back to our owl.
Yeah. And here's the thing, turquoise used to be abundant and very inexpensive. So if you have any old jewelry, it probably is turquoise. The problem is it was mined out. It was so plentiful that so many people took everything that they could. So like if your mother or father left you something that has turquoise in it, it's no doubt legit. Um, if you're not sure with any stone, whether it's dyed or not, you can always put it in a little bit of salt water. The dye will come out and then you'll know.
Well,
Just
if
so you
that
know.
comes out, then you'll have howlite.
That's right. You'll be like, but it highlights a nice stone too.
It is. It absolutely is. I gotta close this down again. So the throat chakra. So turquoise, as you see, Linda has it nicely pointed out. It helps open the throat chakra. It's the Vishuddha chakra. It's located in the center of your neck. And I also have here just a couple of mudras to help you connect to that throat chakra. And so one of them is you just interlace your fingers. I don't know if you all can see me because now I can't even see myself. You interlace your fingers like this, and the pads of your thumbs are touching, and your hands, you just bring your hands down by your stomach. Of course, if I do that, you can't see my hands, but it's just like this. The pads of your thumbs are touching, and you just hold it here and just kind of meditate. Another one, and there was not a name, it was just said a throat mudra for that one. Another one is the Granthita mudra. And this one, you also interlock your hands, but this time you're making circles with your thumb and index finger. So all of these fingers are down, but these two make a circle around each other. I don't know if you all can see that, but they interlock and make circles. And that you just kind of place down in your lap as well. And then the Shuna mudra, you fold your middle finger down and cover it with your thumbs like this. And then you just rest your hands on your knees.
This is the Spider-Man.
Yes.
In Kundalini on Monday, we always pick mudras. Well, we used to always pick mudras. And when this one would come up, we'd all be like, because we're very serious about our Kundalini. So that's what we call it, Fundalini.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think I got the second one, Della, but maybe we can send like, oh, I see.
So your fingers will be interlocked, making a circle.
I see.
Right.
Okay. And do they just stack on top of each other?
Yes. So your
Okay.
hands interlock, but the only,
Okay.
so your hands interlock. The only thing is the pad of your thumb and your index finger touch to form a circle.
I
And
see.
it's
I
two
see. That's
interlocking.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one before. Cool. All right, so we're going to go into the Celtic moon. This is the last moon of the year. And it's the elder moon. I had a devil of a time finding pictures of an elderberry bush or an elderberry tree. Has anybody ever seen one? They actually are quite common everywhere, and we probably know them and see them, but we just don't pay any attention to them. So elder is all about renewal of energy and the continuous journey of the soul towards greater happiness and understanding. The elder moon, and that's from November 25th to December 23rd. This is a time to bring a halt to your habit forming patterns that have restricted your growth. So, whatever you thought of when I said that, you already know what it is, that it's time. No need to hide. You already know what it is. So that you may heal and move on. Evaluate what you've learned during the past year, and that is part of the ritual. What did you learn over the last year? And give yourself time to work out what you want from life the next year. Elder's a big deal. It's the tree of life and death. And apparently it has the ability to recover when it's damaged. That makes it a symbol of regeneration since ancient times. The wood has protective properties. Obviously, if it can regenerate, it can protect others. It has a powerful dryad spirit that lives within it, often planted near a home to ward off intruders. So if you have that little app on your phone that you just take a picture of the bush or the tree, you might have an elderberry tree right in your front yard and you just don't even know it. And I put this in for my daughter who is not here. Pregnant women are encouraged to kiss the bark to ensure the health of unborn babies. Can you imagine going out into your yard and kissing your tree? I mean, I've been known to hug my trees. So there's a couple of different magic tricks. Yeah, Tammy. Yeah, just unmute.
There. So I just was thinking in my head because I've made elderberry syrup before for which is an immunity booster.
Yeah.
But you mentioned that it's also life and death. However, if you eat the berries raw and cooked, they're toxic. So you have to cook them first.
Ah,
No, so I just thought that was very interesting how something raw could be toxic, but you cook it and it's boosts your immunity system and it's healthy for you.
wow. That's great. And that's why it's life and death.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, Tammy, that's awesome. I didn't know that.
And I didn't make, that connection or know that about the elder and berry until or the elder tree till you just now mentioned it. And I was like, oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Just thought I'd share.
I love it. Thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
I mean, I think we probably all used elderberry, when you have a cough or you want, just like echinacea, you want to kind of, or golden seal, you want to kind of keep your immunity up. So that's awesome. So you can use the powers of this tree to bring a sense of completion to the old year. And you're going to hear Della and I saying this over and over again. I think a lot of us, once we get into the holidays, we just become so overwhelmed that, we maybe not a lot of us, maybe just me, you just kind of keep looking for January 1st, like, okay, whoosh, all right, made it through that, made it through that year and go to the next. But I do think if we go into it blindly without that feeling of renewal and what is the new cycle or the next cycle, we just kind of carry it all into the next year. So one of the things they say to do is, of course, review the year, write down what you have learned from each month. So if you could think back to January, what did you learn in January? What areas of your life are unfilled? They indicate stuck energy. So when you're going through this review, hold a quartz and direct love towards your job, your home, your credit card bill. What is unfulfilled? Maybe you had a dream and it didn't happen this year, put some energy towards it. They say new opportunities will appear as if by magic. Resolve difficult relationships by writing a letter to the soul of a person. I think that's really important to write it to the soul, not to the person that you're in conflict with, to clear the way for change, and then burn the letter. There's no reason for you to give the letter to somebody. Most relationships are not going to be improved by you telling somebody what they've done wrong. Unless they're open to that, but I don't know a whole lot of people that are. But I think it's different. I mean, if you think about that, writing a letter to the soul of a person takes it to a higher intention. And there is a ritual you can do to release negativity. You're going to go find a place that isn't frozen. Are you guys frozen up there yet? No. Okay. So go find a place. You're going to dig a hole in the ground And you're going to say, Mother Earth, I ask you to transform my pain into healing. And then you're going to take a picture of yourself. Now, it doesn't have to be like an actual picture, Polaroid, you know, anything like that. It can just be a copy, you know, of a picture. It does. You can draw a picture of yourself if you're sort of artistic. You're going to put a picture of yourself and a drawing or a written account of any negative incidents into the hole. So as you're reviewing the year, you know there's going to be things that are going to come up that feel negative. So you're going to take those. Then you're going to speak or shout your feelings into the hole, whatever they are. And maybe don't do this in your front yard, you know, like think about where you're doing this at. And then you're going to take an elder twig into the hole to represent the end of the cycle. Fill in the hole, stamp the earth down 3 times, saying, I release the past, so let it be. I kind of love that. I bet it could be an elderberry if you can't find an elder twig, you know, or it could just be syrup if that's all you have.
I have elderberries if anyone needs them.
Oh, cool. Cool. All right. So you guys can look up Tammy. And that reminds me, while I'm thinking, if anybody is going to Seekers on the 20th that lives in the Crofton area, Tammy would love a ride and she will give you elderberry for free. So just a little plug there.
Deal. Thanks. Appreciate it.
So here we go, aromatherapy.
All right, so aromatherapy for this month. Of course, we're going to be focusing on the holiday season and boosting our immunity. So here's always, I just give you the recipe for whether you're using it as a room spray or as a diffuser and how to do it for each one. And oh yeah, putting them in your humidifier. Yeah, because most humidifiers I know, like the one I have, it has a place that I can put, usually eucalyptus is what I would put in it. But you probably could put a mixture, one of the blends in that so that it's going out throughout the room or the house. And yes, you can also always do whatever you have, cinnamon sticks, you know, or lemons or whatever, and put them in a pot and just have it simmering, cardamom, whatever, you know. You can use fruit, you can use spices. It doesn't even have to be the sticks. You can just do powdered ground cinnamon, ground nutmeg, clove is a good one. And just put the things in a pot and let it simmer, and it'll have your house smelling absolutely wonderful. All right, so our blends for this month, I have two immunity ones, and then 3 for just holidays. So the first one is your immune booster, is clove, lemon, cinnamon, eucalyptus, and rosemary. And your immunity support will be peppermint, lemon, lavender, eucalyptus, and tea tree. And again, these definitely work very well in either humidifier or diffuser to go throughout the house to keep, you know, help build up your immunity so that you're smelling it. I know, Rachel, can I tell you I did that just for you? So that you could do any of these. I did that. I definitely, as I was going through trying to, in case you don't know, Rachel is allergic to orange, anything orange. So I stayed away from orange, bergamot, tangerine, all of that, because I wanted to make sure that if Rachel wanted to do any of these, that she would be able to do it. So I definitely had you in mind. So the ones for the holiday, we have one that will just smell like evergreen tree, you know, old evergreen. I took that from Old Christmas Tree. But you put this together and your house is going to smell like a Christmas farm. This is kind of like a Christmas tree area. And the second one is candy canes. So the peppermint, wintergreen, lemon, and lavender, kind of put that together and you'll have this kind of minty, sweet mintiness going on. And the last one is chestnuts roasting, frankincense, fir needle, and nutmeg. Bring those together, and that will give you this nutty kind of scent floating around your home.
Yeah. Very cool. So I joined, like, you know how Facebook has all these different groups?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a group called the Green Witches. Are you familiar with them? And they have all kinds of really cool things to do with, so that's why the simmer pot came up and all of that. But one of the things I found today that just intrigued me was to make a cleansing salt bowl. So you know how we were using diffusers and you know all that kind of stuff. You can do the same thing but with salt. And what I love about it is that you put all that stuff into it, you put that by your front door or someplace you go by, and every time you feel like you have picked up negativity, which we're going to pick it up a lot this month, you just put your fingers in the bowl and you visualize that you're taking the negativity that you picked up and push it into the salt. Salt is very purifying. And you can use any of the blends that Della just told you about. You can also put in actual herbs, like put cedar tips, juniper berries, clove buds, rosemary. I mean, it's going to smell delicious. And you can drop essential oils right into it. So if you've ever been to restaurants where they have salt bowls for you to wash your hands with, you know, where they put essential oils into it and different oils, and it makes your skin real soft. You can do something similar like that in your bathroom with these. But you can also put crystals in it. It's like, let's amp the energy up times 1,000. So you're going to have the aromatherapy, you're going to have the crystals, and there's some crystals there that you want to, that they recommend. The only thing you want to pay attention to crystal wise is don't use like selenite, anything that's porous. You don't want to put that in salt, you're going to ruin it. You know, you can always bust up tourmaline and throw that in there, even though that's a porous stone. Who cares? Just bust it up. It's cheap. So I thought this was a fabulous idea. It says whenever the bowl stops feeling clean, stops being able to absorb, then you just refresh the contents. So you can go to like a Sam's or probably the grocery stores up there and just buy boxes of salt. Like you buy a box of kosher salt. Down here, we have a hard time getting stuff because we're sort of in the boonies, but just buy a box of salt. What a great gift this would be, you know, to give to your loved ones. You know, all you have to do is go out and buy a nice little bowl and fill it with all of this, and they'll be like, well, what is this? And you're like, well, I'm saving you from all the negativity that is going to surround us next year. So anything that you don't understand about that, just let me know, and I'm happy to help you with it. So the winter solstice, this is a big deal. And I don't know of you guys, I can't see everybody, I think, but you normally Imagine in the past does huge winter solstice ceremonies because we think it's so important. And unfortunately, we're not going to be doing it on the solstice this year. We're going to be working on at Seekers, which is the night before, to kind of make sure everybody has what they need to be prepared for the solstice. But it's directly opposite the summer solstice in the wheel of the year. It's the point of the shortest day and the longest night. It's the beginning of Yule. So if you know anything about Yule, Yule is really what a lot of different cultures had before Christmas. Now the Christians kind of took it over. Yule is going to start on the 21st and go to January 1st. And that's the 12 days of Yule. The Christian decided, now let's make it, coincide with Christmas and take it to 12th night, which is on January 5th, which in Annapolis, they have a big thing for 12th night, don't they? Has anybody ever been to that? I think so. Look it up. So this is considered the most sacred time of the year because it's a space where it doesn't really belong to the old year or to the new year. So it's time to kind of go within, which of course, that's when we're the busiest all year, because of Christmas, because of the holidays. But that really is a sacred time that we want to try to go within and honor ourselves and spirit. I don't know about you guys. I do Reiki all year long. December, Reiki appointments, doesn't matter what's going on, they are the most sacred. If you are going to have visions of angels or Jesus Christ or Mother Mary, anything like that, it's going to happen in December. And I don't know if that, is that just conditioning, or is it truly we're just closer to spirit at that point? But pay attention. Don't let the busyness get to you so much that you miss it, because solstice is a big deal. So if you've been to our ceremonies, what you're seeing right now, that picture is from my spirit room. And we honor all traditions. So I have a menorah, I have an Advent calendar, and a Yule log. You can see I have all the nativity and things like that. And we've always done that. So making a Yule log is really easy. You just need a drill. So if you don't have a drill, bring a log over to Barry and he will drill it for you, because you need to put 3 holes in it, and then you can decorate it, put foil around candles, put the candles in. They recommend red candles, but you can see we use green and red. We use whatever we have. Decorate it with holly, ivy, and mistletoe. And we'll be doing this ceremony at Seekers. And these are the words to this ceremony. So if you can't make it to Seekers, do this yourself. It's a really beautiful way to honor the light and the dark. And I'm not going to go through the whole thing because we're going to go through it at Seekers. But if anybody has any questions, just let me know. All right, these are the New Year's Eve's to-dos. So we also normally do a New Year's Day ceremony, healing, attunement, and ceremony that we tell you what to do for New Year's Day. But this is New Year's Eve. And so the first thing, and don't shoot the messenger, is you need to clean your home. You need to do the best you can. I'm sorry, not my rules. But you don't want to go into the new year with all the old dust and nastiness of the old year. So even if you just do a what do they call it, a spit and a polish, just do what you can. Throw it in the garage, clear out everything that you can clear out. You want to fill your purse with money. Fill your wallet with as much money as possible. That creates abundance for the next year. You go in with an empty wallet, you're going to continue to have an empty wallet. So put some money in there. Fill your cupboards with food. I know we hate to go grocery shopping or any shopping around the holidays. Order it. Instacart, something like that. Get some food in your cupboards, because otherwise you won't have prosperity. Write down your intentions. Note that I don't say resolutions, because I just think it's better to have intentions. You're supposed to eat 12 grapes at midnight in 12 seconds.
Is that in wine?
Does champagne count?
Yeah, can we figure out how many grapes are in the wine? So 12 grapes at midnight is supposed to bring all kinds of joy our way. I know it's going to be cold. Open your windows and doors at midnight
Might not be cold.
and make a ton of noise. That scares all the spirits out of your house. Get them out of there. Jupiter goes direct on New Year's Eve. So really think about what you want to have in abundance and be careful. You ask for things like patience, and then, you'll get opportunities to learn to have patience. So, be clear, I want to have patience without being forced to have patience. You need to make a plan. Remember, whatever you do on New Year's Day is what you're going to be doing the most of during 2024. So make sure you do what you want. Yeah. Don't shoot the messenger. So Rachel's going, like, really think about it. Even if it's just something simple, do something decadent and simple for yourself on New Year's Day, but make the plan before New Year's Eve so you know what it is. And I'm seeing the chat come up. Are you guys giving me ideas? Oh, yay. That's fun.
I just added the deep insight of picturing Barry looking like a chipmunk trying to get all 12 grapes at midnight.
I resemble that remark.
Yes, I'll give him an idea. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah. Okay. We're good.
Uh-oh, what did I just do? Okay. I didn't know I could do that. All right. So yeah, fill your mouth with grapes. Yes, Leslie?
Are you guys doing a New Year's Day event?
Well, that's the $1 million question that I will answer another time. Honestly, I have gone around and around and around and around, and it's a very difficult thing to decide. I have, for the last 20 years, worked on New Year's Day, doing free yoga, doing the healing ceremonies. I just don't know how I can pull it off. So I have some other ideas that are floating around. And believe me, y'all will be the first to know. So here is your grid and your tarot reading. 12. It's all about the 12 months. I don't know about you guys. I always do a tarot reading the first of the year, or as close to the first of the year that I can. And I say, what's going to happen in January? What's going to happen in February, March, April? And then I take my calendar and I write it on, the beginning of each month, so Tower in July. Oh, hey, guess what? That came through, didn't it? So yeah, it's just interesting to do that and see how the year ends up. You can also make a grid by saying, this is what I want to happen in January, February, March, blah, 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 and put a crystal that represents that, what you're looking for. You can also just use the same crystal all year. I want peace this year, or I want abundance this year. Excuse me, and put an adventure ring or blue lace agate, whatever represents what you're looking for. Now, this is what I was talking about in the beginning. So Della and I are trying to kind of put together how to keep this going. And this is also in line with what I'm talking about with this year is going to be different. No matter what, Imagine is not going to be the same Imagine that it was. And that's pretty exciting because it opens up possibilities. We really like this healing space. And so we're trying to look at what things do you guys want? So I put up some ideas here, and you certainly don't have to answer it here, but I would love to hear your email. So maybe you want to have more restorative yoga or add some restorative yoga to this. Maybe you want more meditation practice. So instead of just guided meditations, you'd like to have something for the month to work on. There's 100,000 ways to meditate. Maybe you want to learn how to cook or how to garden. Maybe you want there to be more Reiki involved in this, or maybe a book club or a movie club, or maybe you want more magic, more intuition and psychic things. So I want you to really start. So, and Rachel can tell you this. Well, I might have been the last retreat. I'm not sure on that, but at one point on retreat, I always had my own room where we did readings and stuff like that. And I distinctly remember Rachel and some other people being in the room saying, Linda, you need to open this up to other people. You need to have other people be a part of it. Part of retreat, some people can do this, that, or the other. And I know Rachel has done really well with having like a guest speaker each month, and I got to do it in January of last year. And so I'm wondering if you guys would like to be more involved in this whole thing that we're doing, so just kind of sit with that and see what comes to you, what you would like your involvement to be in healing space. I feel like healing space needs to continue. We are still going to do tarot night, and we're still going to do seekers and a Reiki shares and all that kind of stuff. But what would you like healing space to evolve to? And of course, we're wishing you happy holidays. Blah, blah, blah. We're going to go into our meditation now. So I'm going to keep messing with this. Actually, I'm just going to stop the share.
Linda.
Yeah.
So there are some in the chat. Rachel has said the book club, well, Healing the Witch Wound book club and psychic channelers, developing psychic ability.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know. And I never got back to you, Rachel, about the witch moon. My life. Yeah, that's why I kind of want to really start to really explore more. I think I love what we're doing, but I think there's so much more that we can do too. And I do like the idea of a book or movie club. We used to do that years ago, have spiritual movies. We even went on, like I see Lori nodding her head. We even went on field trips and went to see movies together. So yeah, let me just know your thoughts on that. So because December is a month for healing, and so many people, I always think about the people that aren't hectic and stressed out, that are just really grieving, or there's a loss of a loved one or something like that. So we're going to call in the energy of that, and then the healing energy of it, and then Della's going to lead us through a guided meditation. So go ahead and get comfortable. However you want. And while you're doing that, if you are a Reiki healer and you want to kind of pull up your Reiki, that's great. I'm going to pull up all kinds of stuff. Good. I call upon the Reiki guides, the Reiki masters, the Reiki teachers that have gone before us, that surround us, that are us. I call you to bring energy to those in need, those present this evening, those in our hearts, and those in the world in need of healing. I call the archangels, Michael, Raphael, Uriel, and Gabriel. I call the ascended masters, the enlightened beings. I call upon Mother Mary, Jesus Christ, Kuan Yin, Avalokiteshvara, all those souls with wisdom to teach us, to guide us, and to help us through this time. I call the spirit animals, especially the owl. Give us your wisdom. Help us to trust our intuition. Finally, I call upon Mother Earth, Father God, sustain us, help us to sustain you. In the name of light, love, and all that is holy. Amen.
So tonight we will be doing a winter snow meditation. So try to find a comfortable place, of course, where you can be for a little bit without getting too hot or too cold, and you limit your distractions. And always remember, it is natural for your mind to wander while you are meditating, but limiting your distractions may help it wander a little bit less. So find a position that is comfortable without crossing your legs or arms, if possible. That way you will not have to uncross them later. Feel free to close your eyes to limit visual distractions as well. Begin settling your thoughts and emotions by focusing on your breathing. Breathe in and out. Let's do that again. Breathe in, breathe out. Notice the way your lungs swell and your abdomen rises and falls. Breathe in, breathe out. Now that you've found a comfortable rhythm with your breathing, we will begin our winter snow meditation. Finding peace in storms. As you breathe, bring to mind the last time you were outside and felt a bit of chill in the air. Remember the way it felt, the way your skin prickled with the cold, and how maybe you could taste the iciness of the atmosphere in the back of your throat. Remember the soothing weight of your clothing, the texture of the fabric against your arms and neck, the way it provided you with shelter from the cold. The warmth of summer has gone, taking the comfort of autumn with it. But the world has not relinquished all of its warm and comfortable things. You can still experience the reassurance of fire as its logs crackle and pop. The beauty of snow sparkling in the sun. And the filling warmth of hot chocolate on cold nights. The world is cold, the winter is dark, but you are not without joy. You are not without peace. Imagine for a moment the hush of the world after a fresh snowfall. The way the snow blankets everything, muffling the loudness of all the life happening underneath it. Snow has the potential to freeze and to slick, but it also has the potential to soothe and inspire. Imagine the snow and accept it. Accepting snow does not mean loving snow. It just means acknowledging its presence in the world and allowing it to exist. Even perhaps finding some beauty in it every now and then. As you imagine the chill in the air and the beauty of snow, bring back to mind the coziness of sweaters. Imagine a winter storm. Maybe it's a mild one, only requiring a light layer to stave off some of the day's bitterness. Perhaps your storm is a blizzard, and your sweater is one layer among many required to keep you warm. Imagine the kind of sweater you need right now. Imagine how thick and solid of a layer it is. Feel the weight of the fabric on your shoulder, the way it hangs off of your frame or clings tightly to you. Notice the way the fabric feels against your skin. Perhaps it is thick wool, a little scratchy, but infinitely warm. Or maybe it is cashmere, gentle and reassuring with its cloud-like softness. It can be any fabric that you need, any texture that reassures you that there is still some calm, some safety in the world. However your sweater fits and feels, it is more than a functional barrier against the cold. It is a reminder that you have access to good and soothing things, even in a storm. As you imagine the way your sweater feels, bring to mind some other things that give you a sense of comfort. The laughter of a loved one, a beloved book or movie, the way you know exactly how to get to your favorite bakery or park. Your life has brought you many lovely and good things. This does not change the storms that life has also delivered. Just like the storms do not change the good. Both have been present and will be again. No matter the storm, peace is available to you. As you bring these bright and soothing moments and memories to mind, imagine each one as a strand of yarn or thread in the sweater you are wearing. They come together to bring you warmth, to bring you safety, to bring you protection from the gusts and gales of the storm. Soak in the peace of this moment, knowing that no storm can rid you of the peace that exists inside of you. Sometimes that peace will be stronger and more present, and other times it will be softer and more of a memory. But it will always be something you can summon, like the feeling of warmth from a sweater. Feel the sweater. Feel its coziness, its protection from the cold, and know that you can always bring it to mind when you need it. Remember the memories and feelings that you have woven into the fabric, knowing that they are always available to you. When you're ready, begin to bring your awareness back to the world around you. Perhaps it is cold like the winter world you're brought to life with this winter meditation. Or perhaps it does not feel like winter at all. Let your senses ground you back to the present in the way your surroundings feel, smell, and sound. You might stretch, flutter your eyelashes, shake your hands or feet to solidify your presence and ready yourself for returning back to the demands of today. But before we end, we will finish this meditation as we started it, with the focus on your breath. So breathe in and breathe out. Feel again the way your lungs expand as you breathe, the way that deep breath wakens up your mind and helps ease any tightness in your chest. You are breathing, you are alive, and you have and will continue to find moments of peace in your storms. Namaste.
That was lovely, Della.
Is everybody warm with their sweaters?
There's one with my poncho.
It's funny because they talk about a wool sweater being itchy. I swear I can't stand like the cashmere sweaters around my neck. It makes me feel like I'm choking.
I was
I'll
thinking,
take a wool sweater.
I've never had a cashmere sweater. I don't think I've ever had one.
Well, okay, maybe not cashmere, but it's one of those soft sweaters. I just liken it to
Like the
cashmere.
rabbit fur, the chenilles that have like the fuzzies that like attach. to
Yes, yes, those. I can't do those. They make me feel like I'm choking.
I can't do sweaters. That's why I have like this, because I'm hot, I'm cold. I'm hot, I'm cold.
Yeah.
So it's just easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't like anything around my neck. Period. Turtlenecks, hate turtlenecks.
I can't.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not gonna say what came to mind.
They look dorky, but I wear them.
They don't look dorky at all. I'm jealous of people that actually have a neck. Like that was the big joke that my father would say all the time. How come you didn't get a neck? Yeah, I can't. I have to have V-necks. So I'm with you, Tammy. So, well, ladies, this was lovely. Even Barry
Thank you
was
so much.
So like I said, really think about, we are so open to anything that you guys want to talk about. And I am hoping we do a little bit more collaborating, because everybody has gifts to share. So we
Yeah.
will send you the PowerPoint, and of course we'll put this up on YouTube. So you'll have a permanent link to it, and go visit your sweater anytime you want. And let us know. I mean, like I said, I know this could be a tough month for a lot of people. So, if you're not on the Seekers page, let me know. We'll put you on the Seekers page, the Healers page. If you have any requests or anything like that, just let us know, because we have a large group that are willing to help you. So, are you on that, Tammy? You're on that, right?
Yeah, I should have put something on there about my surgery, but hey, better late than never, right?
Yeah. How are you doing? You're doing fine, right?
It's coming along good. Yeah, I'm not liking being in this sling, and I'm right-handed, so it was like I can't do a whole lot. Hence the need first for help with a ride, especially at night, because I don't see well at night anyway to drive. And handicapped, I just don't trust myself. But yeah, it seems to be healing well. I start physical therapy next week, so
Good.
hopefully it'll all move along. But I had no trouble, the first few days were rough, but it's pretty good now. I get some pains, but nothing that Aleve or Advil doesn't help. So I'm doing good. Thank you.
Glad to hear it.
Mhm.
All right, you guys, we will see you next month. We'll probably see you
Or
before.
sooner.
Yeah. Well, Barry and I are coming into town Friday. So we have open house next on the 16th, 15th, 6th, yeah, 15th. It's on the Saturday, not 16th. I don't know. So you guys are welcome to come, have some wassail, and we'll sing the Here We Come, we're wassailing. And then we have Seekers on the 20th. So
Are you all sold out on Reiki? I could
no,
come to somebody else, I suppose. It's a thought.
no, I do. I do have some openings, believe it or not. Unfortunately, they're pretty much during the day.
I'm taking off earlier this year.
Okay. All right. Well, I will get in touch with you. You had an appointment that you just canceled. You could come and do Reiki.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Yeah, no, I do. I do have some openings. I expanded my calendar.
Okay.
So
I think I have the 15th and the 21st and the 22nd.
yeah. Well, we could do the one in person too. Well, we'll talk. We're fine. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Della.
Thank you. That was
Linda.
lovely.
Thanks, everyone. I look forward to seeing you again.
See you soon.
Take care.
Right, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Yes.
Night. Thank you.
Thank you.